Hello and welcome to Beauty Espace TV. I'm Ritoo and I'm very honored today to have two wonderful women. Literally, the ladies have been responsible for setting the benchmarks for the salon business in India. They started over 50 years ago in what was regarded a very dangerous place to be in the salon industry where nobody ventured really. And these two wonderful women started, and not only started, but established great businesses. They are great mentors. And they have two daughters who have followed in their footsteps, right? Dilshad and Natasha have gone on to excel in hairdressing. So welcome to Beauty Space TV, both of you. Um, Nalini and Yasmin, as we know them. So Nalini and Yasmin are considered, of course, pioneers in hairdressing. Both have a very interesting, as if destiny was tying them up. Both had worked with Air India in when the career was the only thing that India had, and the most prestigious carrier, of course. And they flew at the same time. They bought their houses in the same place, and chose the same careers. So yeah, and Nalini, of course, has informed us that both of them have together focused a lot on education, and from global masters like Vidal Sassoon, Tony and Guy, Morris School, Rever School, and so on. And Nalini's love for hairdressing encouraged her to establish her hair salon. Of course, both of them had the love for hairdressing, and therefore the Nalini and Yasmin salons came up. And considering the importance of education, Nalini went on with her daughter Natasha to create the academy, which has been mentoring students. And Yasmin has very sweetly, like I would like to quote this, when I think both of them seem to have the same kind of motivations, she says that she talks about training, doing advanced training, and how they would, one would look after the children, the other would go and learn from abroad, and then come back and train each other. So that's so amazing.
And train the staff well, and train the staff as well. Go abroad the courses and come and train the staff.
Amazing, and the staff as well. And so welcome. And before, I don't want to talk more about I'm more excited to talk to you. So welcome again to Beauty Space TV. And let's start with both of you taking turns and telling us about how it all started. What was the inspiration, the initial days, and so on.
I think, the two of us, as we said, it was a coincidence that we got married around the same time. We had flown in with Air India. And can you imagine, we came and stayed in the same building without consulting. Same building we came and stayed. So having done the hairdressing course, we just said, chalo, let's start. It would be so nice to have something to do and also earn a little pocket money.
Right.
Yasmin's flat, there was an extra bedroom she had at that time. And we started as a hobby, literally, not knowing where it will go. I think that is how it started, and what a wonderful thing that happened.
We loved our work. We had passion for it. And every year we would go abroad, one of us, because both of us couldn't afford to go, and come and teach the other person. So continuously we were getting educated. And then for some time, people didn't know we were there.
Initially, nobody knew we were there. We had to tell our friends, we had to tell our family members, please drop in for a haircut. And in between, our children were small. So we would run off to the school, which was literally next to our house, attend to them and come back. Come back for a haircut and run somewhere and take them to Otter Club for a swim. It was such a juggle, but what fun. Really, what fun. You remember we used to do
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
One day, Dilshad and Munisha tell our daughters, they said, Mommy, in between cutting hair, you all forget that you're coming to our school and you're going to meet teachers. kindly see to it that you change your clothes and not come in your silly frocks. So forget that we had to go and meet the teachers for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
These unbelievable that we, I remember once, my God, I'm so ashamed of it right now. If I tell you what I did, I took my daughter Natasha for a swim to Otters Club, and because I was busy doing something or the other at home also, I used to leave the maid outside Otters while she was swimming inside. I just forgot to pick her up. I said, oh my God, what's happening to me? She was there for 1 hour after her swim, she had swam for an hour or so. She's waiting, the maid is waiting for me. I think I just forgot. I took over 2 hours. They were so angry with me. Even my husband, he was in shock. He said, are you crazy? That's a child you had left in Otters Club. This is how we juggled our clients and our work,
Anyway, after a few years, when people started coming to us, then it was time to move out, and buy a shop.
Yeah.
Now that really
marathon task. You remember?
Yeah.
Buying a shop required money.
You must tell us, what were the challenges? How did you, kind of go around it?
Borrowed money.
We borrowed money from friends and from relatives.
Whatever we had, we put it.
And we bought a small shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we were starting to do well. So we needed the next shop, bigger one. So the banks wouldn't give us money at that time. They said, no, you're not small scale industry. So there is no provision to give hairdressers any loan.
Oh.
So with difficulty, we managed to get.
I borrowed from my mom's cousin. I remember 10 or 15,000 at that time. And I told him in 6 months, very sweet uncle of mine. I said, I'll give you in 6 months, will you? What 6 months? I think I paid him after 1.5 years. But he was patient and sweet. He understood our need. This is how we started.
So that's how we started.
Yeah.
But we just worked and worked and worked. Not thinking about what we are going to make, how we are going to go about it. But with God's grace, people started appreciating our work. And that time, the Chinese were absolutely dominant, in the hair industry.
Yeah.
And they were very talented and very good. So for us to break into that mold was not that easy.
But what came in our favor, remember, is because we were educated hairdressers. They learned from mother to child, hairdressing. While we came in with education.
Scientifically we learned in London.
Yeah.
So that came in our favor. And then slowly, with God's grace,
Annoying all our friends to send whoever they could.
Yeah.
And if I don't remember whether the haircut price at that time was 100 rupees or 50 rupees. And if they made a face, we said, "Acha sa thoda kam de do."
So it was word by mouth and word of mouth, and you ensured that the word spread. That's incredible. If you think from our times where we have the Facebook and what not.
It was word by mouth. That's it. And Ritoo, how lucky we are! We cannot tell you the kind of people who came to us for haircuts. I cannot tell you.
Lucky.
From start to every industrial. Who's who in Bombay, right?
Yes, who's who in Bombay. And who's who in India also came. And on holidays from abroad, people would come, take our appointment at the airport. So that was like something,
we couldn't believe it that this had happened to us. We're blessed. We're blessed.
That's what good things are all about. People look for you after a point.
Yes.
Yeah. So did you at that point imagine that, you are on your way to becoming pioneers for a whole industry?
Not at all. We never realized we'll become pioneers in hairdressing.
Not at all.
We just did our job for the love of the job.
Yeah.
And we needed money.
And as passionately as we could.
Yes, as passionately.
And the money, like we always tell our juniors who are learning from us, we tell them, don't think about the money. Yes. Just do your work well, get trained, and money will come running after you. And that's what happened to us.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you feel now?
Feel very good, very satisfied, and had a very fulfilling life, I'll tell you.
We had good innings, I must say.
Awesome. So just share some major milestones from your respective careers, and what were the main lessons, say, from some of them?
Lessons were that a woman, when she puts her mind to it, can do anything. At that time, we were in the background. A woman in a home was in the background. And I think luckily my husband really encouraged me.
Yes.
He really did.
Yes,
When I gave my
yes.
hairdressing exam, Ritoo, I cannot tell you. In his life, he has never taken a day off. He took a day off. He came and sat outside because he saw how nervous I was in London when I did the hairdressing. He came and sat outside all day. I couldn't believe it. He who's never taken a day off. So that encouragement helped.
Yeah.
Milestones, I would say, every time I think that we, like from the first shop to the second shop, then to the one, we were in wonder when we got to see the kind of people who came to us and who became our friends. So many of them became our friends.
Yes.
What fun we
The
had.
actresses, Dimple, Amrita, those time actresses.
Yes, yes.
They came, we asked them initially, okay, will you all come and do a shoot for us? They came with their makeup on and they just did it free for us.
Nothing.
And it was such a good thing, and they all became our friends.
Yes. They were wonderful. You know, when people say they can be difficult, we haven't had a day of difficulty with them. I've never forgotten. I felt so bad about this, I can't tell you, but she was so sweet. Sridevi came for a haircut and I was cutting somebody's hair. She said, "Thoda jaldi hai." I said, "Baal kaat rahi hu, please, please. Main jitna koshish karke jaldi karungi." She sat quietly for about 25 minutes.
They were wonderful. Very humble. All these actors.
And that lovely haircut for Lame, where from a mother to a daughter. I was supposed to do that haircut. Wow. So pay so much attention. Then another thing. Should I say? It's very sweet actually. So I'm not saying any lies.
Go ahead.
Because we had to cut her hair short and her hair was short in front. When I went there, her hair in front was this long. I cut it this much because we had to give her a younger look. She stopped me. I said, "नहीं हो गया, अभी करना ही पड़ेगा." इतना छोटा काट लिया, वो आगे ऐसे करना पड़ेगा. थोड़ा फर्क होना चाहिए from mother to daughter. So sweet.
We have lovely incidents. One day I was very busy going from one chair to another cutting hair. And this one simple looking lady in an off-white sari kept following me from one chair to another. आप मेरा makeup करोगे आज? I thought she's so simple. Any girl can do her makeup. I said, "Don't worry, मैं आपको इतनी अच्छी लड़की दूंगी. She do your makeup and hair. Party है ना शाम को." I said, "Don't, आप बिल्कुल मत फिक्र करिए." After a while, after the third chair, she's telling me, "क्या है ना? वो गवर्नर के बंगलो पर पार्टी है." Oh my God! I said, "I cannot leave her." Okay, don't worry. I will stay back and do your makeup and hair. So there were so many things like that.
So many things, such lovely incidents, I can't tell you. I remember one of our Eranee pilots who stayed somewhere close by, his wife came. She wanted, again, a very simple person. She wanted a change. I said, "Chalo, now show your guts and make her do it, what you're planning to do for her." And I knew that she would be okay and she would look nice.
Right.
So, of course, we cut her hair, curly hair, which was, little rough, and she didn't probably produce too much conditioner or anything. She didn't know how to do anything to her hair, so she used to tie it up. So I suggested a haircut by which I let it be curly, but I taught her how to handle her hair properly. So when she went home, she passed my husband and he didn't even look at her. Suddenly he turned around. "Arey, ye to Sita se Rita ban gayi hai." Incidents like that, which
So
are
that
so
makes us
funny.
feel so good,
So
you know.
good. Then remember she was a school mistress, very attractive woman in a sari, and who again had curly hair, and she used to tie it up. So I said, "Now, Shobha, please be a little courageous. Let's go short. I'm telling you, you look lovely. Just do it." "No, I'm very scared. I'm the principal of a school." I said, "Just do it. Principal or whatever. It's okay. You'll be fine. You've got such a lovely face, and this curly hair will teach you how to." We used to make them hold make them hold the
manage their hair at home.
How to manage it, to blow dry it. So I cut it short, much longer than mine, a little shorter than and in that curly look. I cannot tell you how lovely she looked. She couldn't believe it when she saw herself. She said, "In the school, do you think it'll be okay if I go like this?" I said, "It'll be fantastic. You just see what remarks you get." And sure enough, everyone said how nicely she looked. So those were good things. We used to teach them how to blow dry their hair in front. I say, "कोई बात नहीं, curly है तो क्या है? थोड़ा conditioner लगाएंगे और आगे से ऐसे blow dry करना." And we just hold their hand and make them blow dry.
So any challenges you could share which and how you, overcame them once you were, well set and going, you know?
The challenges were we didn't have money. I didn't want to ask my family. I didn't want to trouble Jimmy also. We had just started our lives,
Yeah, we just started our lives.
So I said, listen, Jimmy, I told my husband, lend me a little money, I'll give it back to you. He said, don't be silly. Just you need to pay up, you need to pay up. We'll manage life. There's nothing to worry about. But I did it. I borrowed and I said, no. I borrowed it from you. Even though you're my husband, I'm still going to give it back to you.
Our bank manager, when he was giving us a loan, by that time we were doing pretty good, and we knew we had the confidence we paid back, to the bank. So he's a Parsi gentleman. He said, against everybody, I'm giving you all the loan. Just don't miss one installment also. We said, we won't, don't worry. So that's how we started life. With God's grace, then everything was good. Then we opened Sun and Sand, one in Warsaw, Neagamvala.
Right.
We managed all those well. But the ones outside, we couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't. This is another thing, Ritoo, we always talk about and say that I wish there were more. These kind of careers need a lot of ethics. You can't use substandard products on the client. You cannot use a bad cream. You cannot use a hair product which will ruin a hair. I've seen a chunk of hair fallen off and the girl crying. There are two incidents which I've never forgotten. One was on the day of the engagement. This girl came over to the salon crying in tears. Skin bleach burn. And she was getting engaged that day. Mother and daughter in tears. I said, just run to the doctor. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. That is such a cruel thing to do to a person. Why do you have to use a substandard product on the skin of a client? Or, a very good thing we taught them, think that you're sitting in the chair. Think that you're sitting in the chair. How would you like your hairdresser to treat you?
That's true.
So that the conscience sort of gives them the answer.
Yeah. Very true.
In those days, we used to get products from the grey market because there were no big companies that came in. With now now of course they've come in with a whole lot of companies. They've come in with good products, and so there's not a problem. But in those days, we used to tell the grey market chap who owned a shop.
He used to come and give us.
Yeah, we used to tell him, keep some colors for us for Diwali, New Year, that sort of thing. So we passed through those stages also.
What about during the Gulf War? We didn't have many colors. There was nothing happening at that time.
Yeah.
These poor fellows were not going to Dubai, Singapore, wherever they used to go and bring the products. One day, I remember, I think it was Kanta with me on that day. I said, we have to do, luckily it's a simple color she wants. There's little in some tubes lying. Let us think clearly and do the color. She wanted simple highlights. Kuch tha hi nahi dukaan mein. There was hardly anything. But somehow we figured it out and God was with us. The color turned out terrific. Saturn thought, now see, 7-stroke 1 will go with plain 8. It will be nice. And her hair tone is 5. So it will work out. Racked our brains and managed to do this much color from each tube.
It was exciting doing things.
Yeah, we did exciting things.
Yeah. So when did the brands come in, and now that there are, these millions of brands around, every month we have a new one entering the market. So what do you advise to people who have so much choice now?
First and foremost, I've noticed that, it's like Natasha laughed so much. I said, how many plexes are you keeping here? Olaplex, Bisplex, Velaplex, 101 plexes, they're all the same, aren't they? How many little difference there is? I said, not that much difference. Why do you have to stock the cupboard and fill half the cupboards only with one bloody Olaplex? Oh, sorry. One Olaplex. Keep one, two. Why do you have
to?
Today's kids confuse you. They confuse us
they
nowadays.
Just buy. They've not gone through what we went through. Yeah. Like be careful, and you can use this and you can use that. You don't have to have the whole cupboard of different things. You can manage with,
just the odd few.
Yeah.
So how did we manage?
Yeah.
Of course, as life goes on, we can't go back. We started in a simpler way.
Yeah.
Here, the world is so different. The kind of coloring and all they do is so interesting and so lovely. So they do need
Yes. And hairdressing
other
has
products
really changed from our days.
tremendously.
Very good.
Yeah.
I think today's hairdressers
Hairdressing
are
is lovely.
very
I've
good.
seen
The
what they do
youngsters
these
are,
days.
yes.
Superb work.
Very
The other day, he
Yeah.
sent me color, and I couldn't have imagined it. Frankly, if I went back into coloring, I would have to ask Natasha questions. It's such interesting work they do, from a little pinkish tone to a little darkish pink. Then it went into a coral kind of a color. I mean, how interesting! It's not easy to do that kind of superb. But they all some great-
education, no? Today's education and their creativeness.
Yeah. So on that note, let's talk about education. Both of you are also educators, and when did you realize that it's time to educate more or open an academy?
Well, we did have, there were hardly any hairdressers around. We had to train hairdressers.
Right. You've trained some of the best
Start
ones.
mentoring in the salon itself.
Yeah.
Right.
We used to mentor in the salon. The first one was Mangala, no, who joined us, or
Yes.
Roxanne,
yes. Yeah. Roxy, Mangla.
Yeah, they were
We
the
trained
first.
them.
We trained them.
And when we started doing much better, we used to get a hairdresser from London, and we couldn't afford to just fly him down. So we used to ask the neighboring salons, do you want to just pull in, and you can send your staff and we'll all get trained together. So things like that we used to do.
That's
And
an interesting
Education is
model.
a must.
Yeah.
Because then you do, not only is your work better, but then you're also with the time, isn't it? Because today's youngsters, you've seen what all they do. They want interesting things. They think differently. And for that, you need education.
Even people want different things. During our days, it used to take us 3 months to convince a client or a housewife to have highlights. No, my husband may not like it. Highlights, it will be too modern. So think about it. Come at Diwali time. We'll just do a little bit and make you look good. So things like that used to happen today.
We had to
come
teach them how to use the right shampoo and conditioner. In those days, what were Tata shampoo and some other shampoos?
Yeah. Halo. It started with Halo.
Correct. Halo and whatever conditioner, one and a half, hardly.
Soft and silky, something like that.
I remember there was an interesting hair set we used to do for people with curly hair who wanted their hair to get smoothened. We used to teach them how to wrap the hair around the head.
Yeah.
To smoothen out the hair. It's incredible. That hair set is still today incredible. I don't know why nobody does it anymore. It's so good that
they just want to straighten everything now.
But this gives you body and smoothens out the hair, and the hair is wrapped around the head. Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah.
You should send me a video on that.
Oh no, you can't. Do it. You'll even sit home. When you wash your hair and you condition it and it's half dry, we can teach you how to wrap it around. Your hair will be smooth and beautiful.
Oh wow, that's
really. Everybody talked when we,
and they used to manage to do it at home.
Yeah, the clients.
Then we trained a lot of girls from Ambedkar colony.
That was
like they got a career. Otherwise, they would have been working in homes, They would be working in homes and cleaning homes. They came as helpers. Jhadu lagana, saaf suf karna. Slowly, we taught them blow dries. We taught them, and some of them have their own salons today. Few of them.
Isn't that incredible? That from where they started and where they reached. That's another lesson you learn in life.
Yes.
That if a human being is given a chance and an opportunity and encouraged and taught, they can go anywhere. They really can go anywhere.
It's so lovely to see these youngsters. Very good.
It's lovely to see them doing well. Grateful for it.
Yeah, I think you guys have done an incredible job, and I realize that given today's time when poaching is, Nalini, you wrote an article for us on poaching.
It's such a sad thing.
Yeah.
You don't know what it can do to you. Natasha had just had started running the salon about 7 years ago. And immediately, having just taken over the salon, there was a salon downstairs. They took away 12 of our staff. She cried for days together. Imagine losing 12 staff at one shop. From underneath our building, can you imagine what a cruel thing to do? Then, of course, the whole hairdressing industry stood by me. You remember I told you, they stood by me and they said, no, this won't do. I mean, you're a neighbor. How can you take away staff of a neighbor? Would we do that? We wouldn't. So those are the things that actually we have to write about and talk about and bring some conscience into them. Now, you know what the hairdressers do? They have the clients' numbers. They have the clients, whatever color they use on the touch-up, whatever color they use for the highlights. Now, suppose it's 2,000 the service in the salon. They'll go and do it at 1,500. I mean, how
and we can't control it. We cannot control it.
It's very difficult to control. But there's no point. Those are the girls we have taught, we've given them a life. So I tell them, why? अपने डांडा वांडा में जहाँ आप रहते हैं वहाँ तो बहुत लोग आएंगे, खुशी से आएंगे, पर जहाँ रोजी रोटी मिलती है वहाँ थोड़ी ऐसे करते हैं. बाहर अपने friends लिए, you take anybody, anybody around you, your friends. You don't take away your own salon's business.
That's very difficult to control people. People morals.
We have to talk about these things.
We have friends.
What do you think is the solution?
Like us, 38, 25 years ago. But we never do this to each other. We go on holiday together. We walk every day together, other two people. But we keep our, morals, and we don't do these things to each other.
Now I've started writing articles about this, and I discuss with all of you, about this. Because somewhere the ethics have to... Something we have to do.
Ethics is lacking.
People, if one person improves, it helps.
What is the solution to this? What do you think is the solution to
talk about it, write about it, and awaken their conscience? Like I say, out of 10, if one wakens, that's also a help.
Yes.
When they realize, and I say to them, "आप डांडा रहती है ना, तो वहाँ अपने दोस्त आते हैं, अपने friends आते हैं, अपनी cousin आती है, तो उनका करो. हम लोग थोड़ी कहते हैं नहीं करो. पर हमारी दुकान का जो क्लाइंट तकदीर से हमारे यहाँ आ रहा है, आप उनके घर जाएंगे तो कैसे चलेगा? And we are the ones who have given them a life.
Yes.
It's not that we should show off about this. This is our duty as a woman in a country as poor as ours to look after the poor.
Give them a chance to do something in life.
It's a good thing to do. But at the same time, you have to let them know that this is not wrong.
We have to, One has to.
Write a lot about it or have these programs or whatever, Somewhere it can change a bit at least, isn't it?
Absolutely. One needs to talk more and more, and I think this has to be some system by which this is discouraged.
Yes.
Maybe.
Like using substandard products, it's very frightening. In the old days, what we've seen.
In the old days.
Harsh skin cream, straightening cream, the whole chunk has fallen off and they'll come running and crying in tears. I mean, for God's sake, that's where training also comes in. Because close to the scalp, by chance, if you have not used the right product, or in those days, those kind of products, which were good enough, but still, you had to be careful. It was a chemical. Now, suppose you have gone and applied it on the scalp itself, and you have gone and done something else, and you've forgotten about that plant. You had it. The product touches the scalp, and it breaks the hair.
Yeah.
That's it.
Also, we used to tell them, if they, for example, they didn't need a perm. In those days, people used to put lots of mehndi in the hair.
Yes.
And on mehndi hair, you should not do a perm because it doesn't break the shaft. But no, I want to do a perm. And then we would say no to her, losing out on maybe 5,000 in those days.
Right.
She would go somewhere else and then come back crying, oh my God, आपने बताया था, हमने सुना नहीं, और बाल देखो अभी क्या है. So that honesty is
very important, and this is what we believed in it.
Yes.
I remember one famous saying of mine, which has worked on lots of students we trained. I said, don't do 10 haircuts, do 9. No need to do 10 haircuts and earn that money for the salon and get your tip. Do 9. It's no problem. Give that wonderful service.
That is perfect what you do.
And some of them learned. They said, कोई नहीं बोलता है 10 haircuts now करो. I said, doesn't matter. The client will be so happy with your work. And we have to teach our clients. We used to do consultations. Consultation is a thing of the Western world, but we have done this since 50 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Spend करते थे client के साथ.
That's true.
So
That's
going on,
very soft kind of a And she used to chat away with the clients. And I used to watch her and I used to say, Yasmin hasn't heard half that story the client has told her. The client is probably telling her my husband is cheating on me or something like that. And she's not there. I got you. You weren't listening.
But we were a good,
we were a very
combination.
Good very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I've learned so much from her with that nice nature. You know how you.
I learned so much from her. How to do business. and she used the word, like Parsi said, like kharab lagse. We feel bad if we do that. She said, take that word out of your dictionary. So I told her, take that word out after 50 years.
You have to feel bad about you're doing something which is right.
Yeah.
We're not telling you to do anything wrong.
Right.
Our clients do anything wrong. And Parsis love saying the kharab lagse. How will I say this to them?
Yeah.
I said, Baba, if it's right for them, you have to say it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
It was fun. It was really fun working together.
We had
great times. Great times.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So going on, moving forward, let's talk about your daughters also entering the same business, and how did it happen? Did it happen automatically? Did you want it to happen like that? How did it work out?
It just happened, when the children come in and all, everyone thinks differently.
Right.
And as much as we loved working together and managed to work together,
we kept it together.
We kept it together. But the time had come.
Yeah.
At the same time, the appreciation and the care for the person has never gone.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, we go for a walk every day. People get shocked.
And we decide which holiday now we are going to go for.
Fantastic.
Like that,
Yeah. So we have spoken so much about honesty and integrity. I mean, this is, let me tell you, the first interview where we've spoken so much about what's so important and what should be the first thing for everyone. So tell me about what kind of legacy you would like to. I mean, you have passed on an excellent legacy, but I would like to hear it from you as to what is your legacy when it comes to
let them know that if you're continuing with this career, first thing is see that everyone is educated so that you don't use wrong products and harm the hair or whatever. See that they are educated stylists, and ongoing education on the floor. We are training all the time. I've seen Natasha and all, even if they're not doing proper training, they're training them on the floor.
Yeah.
So that they give better work. The quality of work has to be of a better standard.
Because there's a lot of competition now. During our days, we were very few of us, on top. But now there's a lot of competition. Yes. You have to be the best.
Yeah. And you have to give your best to your client.
You have to give your best.
You have to give your best to your client. So I think education is something
very important.
And most important, like I've told you, I don't know, people get bored and get fed up when I talk about ethical hairdressing is very important. How would you like it if somebody used horrible product on your scalp and one chunk came off? Would you like it? How would you like it if somebody has used a skin cream or a bleach on yourself? You wouldn't like it. So why can't we put ourselves there? Why don't we put ourselves over there? So as we keep saying, it's unbelievable. Yasmin had told me once ages ago, my grandmother had said, "Kaan mein do hole hai. इधर से दोनों को होल में डालते जाओ, खाना कहाँ अटक जाएगा." Grandmother had told her that.
Yeah.
That's true. You have to keep on emphasizing the right things.
Yeah. In the salon, you should see how once in a way when I go there also, and I'll go and make inquiries. I'm still curious. One day I saw Natasha working on a client for 2 days. I said, "What's wrong with you? Why client? Did you ruin her hair? Did you do something?" No, mommy, she came with awful hair. You don't know what she came. Brown here, little red somewhere, little dark somewhere. Repaired and repaired. And then, of course, all the plexes and God knows how many things she used. She did a great job. I thought to myself, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, education. She's very interested in learning. And that is what every hairdresser has to learn.
Yeah.
Yasmin, you would like to add to that?
About education, Ritoo wants to know.
Would you like to add
about
the education?
As Nalini says, without education, without upgrading your work, without knowing the new products and how to use them and hairstyles and everything, you have to keep on learning. Like I tell my staff in Neagamvala, now you have YouTube. You have so many You know, they can't
Ways
go
of
to
learning.
London, but there are so many ways of learning.
Right.
I will go through YouTube at 12:30 also if I can't sleep. I see what are the haircuts, what are things happening. Not that I cut hair that much now, hardly. Maybe once a month or something. But I'm still interested. And I still send them whatever I see that they can learn. I send it to them on WhatsApp. So those kind of things, you know. At my age, when we are not really so involved in the hairdressing, we still want to keep up with what's happening.
We also loved our career, so it's nice
Yeah.
to know what's going
So
on.
now we are kind of relaxed also, and yet our staff can learn by us telling them.
So who are your favorite current hairdressers, if you would like to play favorites?
Favorite hairdresser? Oh, Ritoo, nobody believes me, but you don't know what I did years ago. I was hostess in first class at Eranee, and there was one passenger, this is God's truth, and I will not use that sentence ever if I am not. There was one passenger sitting in first class, and he was reading a book. And when he got off, he forgot that book. I lost that book. Can you imagine? Guess who? The man whom I looked up to, and I thought he was God in hairdressing, Vidal Sassoon. He left a book behind, and I picked it up and I lost it.
Oh,
I've also flown with Vidal Sassoon once.
Yeah,
And it was like, wow, you know, we were hostesses at that time.
He was going to open the salon in New York.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
He was opening the salon.
oh,
We were
wow.
same flight, I guess.
Yes.
That must be something, yeah.
That was something.
Little knowing that we'll go
Like
to his
like
schools
our
also.
We went to his school, and what work, what's beautiful work.
Yeah.
Those are geniuses. They're masters.
Yeah. What about our Indian next gen hairdressers?
They're very good ones.
Whom have you noted? Whom do
Yeah.
you think are? Would you like to name?
God is a good hairdresser. Natasha.
Yes.
Youngsters,
Natasha is very
all
good.
of them
Very
who
good.
work
All
with
is
us,
very good.
Saab, Ryan, and all these are good
Kanta,
hairdressers.
they're all from
Kanta, they're
our
very good.
place.
Yeah.
And not forgetting dear Placid too.
Mumbai bunch are really good. Yeah, that's true. But just Delhi also is, kind of getting there, in terms of they're better businessmen. though. But
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
so we have a split. Delhi.
Delhi's thinking is different.
Yeah.
Delhi's thinking is different. It's based
Yeah.
on the balance sheet.
Thinking
It's based on the balance sheet.
Oh yeah, that too. Very important. So now we, before we end the talk, we would like to understand what your go-to products have been over the years, and what's your regimen in terms of beauty and wellness.
Today we might not be able to give you the right answer because we're not in touch with too many products.
Yeah.
That means us, people like Natasha and
Right.
today
Right.
they know that, and the other
Everything.
day when she sent me that coloring, it's so difficult. I sat and thought, would I be able to do that? Not really. But they're also creative and artistic by nature.
Right.
Yes.
Nalini, but this is a question for both of you. How do you in your personal, vanity kit, what are your go-to products? And how do you do your beauty and wellness?
Just a little more care. Natasha says, Mommy, have you seen how much care Yasmin auntie takes to dress up and all? Look at you. I said, don't be silly. When I go out, only I dress. Now, when I'm going to the park, I'm not going to bother. Yasmin,
Thoda shock hai, that's all.
Right, that's good. That's good.
so go
So
to park, hardly anything.
Yeah.
I remember a Sindhi friend of mine, my college friend. She said, Nalini, one day she tells me much later, Nalini, you remember when we were young, in our handbag, there was lipstick, powder,
Everything.
eyeliner, eye pencil. Abhi to khali goliyan hai, khali medicine.
Yeah, we all get there at some point.
Every time Monisha comes from abroad or Natasha comes back from a holiday, I don't get the time to go to back here and then shop around. It's too time consuming also. So I just tell her, whatever you're not using, leave it behind. Everything I get now. Natasha, whatever she doesn't want to use, she gives it to me. And Monisha, whatever she wants to use, she gives it to me. And I'm quite happily carrying on.
Dilshad also gives me in Canada. Mummy, I'm not using this here. Okay, give.
They're lazy also now, a little lazy.
But now in India also you get a lot of good stuff,
Yes,
as far as
Yes, now
taste,
we have everything.
American products.
Yeah.
We don't need to get
Wellness.
abroad
How
now.
about let's talk about wellness and fitness. I see that both of you are very fit. And
Very important. Wellness and fitness is what will keep you going through in life. Really, really. I mean, there's nothing that I would. I've had the kind of back problem where most doctors wanted to operate on me 30 years ago. And I resisted it. Then I came across a wonderful doctor who said, "You're young." I must have been in my 30s, I remember. Dr. Joshipura, he said, don't get, you're young, you're strong. You know, when I used to have my back problem, for days together, I was in bed with excruciating pain. And I started going for yoga, Iyengar's yoga. I do Iyengar's yoga. I started going to Eranee and Sam Motiwala and Dadar colony. Can you imagine the two small children with a Salon? Even then, I went twice a week to their class and I've never looked back. I've never looked back. That particular form of yoga,
yeah, Iyengar yoga is one of the
forever
best.
And then we walk also.
Yeah, we walk. We are very active. We don't sit at home doing nothing. We are just on the go, like, you know. Even if we don't go to the salon, there is always something to do.
Yeah, something interesting is there.
Something interesting.
Right now, I'm very much involved with something which was such a lovely experience for us. First and foremost, that the award night was very nice. We met some nice people from the hairdressing community. I went. There's a group called Beautiful Heart Fund, whereby a whole lot of them have got together and part of that group.
Yes,
we went gave a Christmas party to St. Anthony's Home for the Aged, and it was such a lovely experience. I cannot tell you. Those women were
destitute, probably alone.
Children are abroad, or parents, you know, they're alone in life. Their partners are not there anymore, but they're well looked after. But it's not, you know, it's not like having enough to do and enough company. So they had such fun. Ritoo, if I send you what all we've experienced on that day, there were especially two old ladies. The one, a hot favorite of mine. She sang and I videoed her. So cute, I cannot tell you. The other one must have been a singer in her youth. So she went and stood near the person who was comparing the show and started singing and wouldn't stop. So I asked her, I said, you love singing, did you? Yes, I like singing very much. I want to sing all the time. I said, then don't you? Then I realized the situation that they're in, those opportunities won't come regularly. So what we've decided that this Beautiful Hearts Fund, we will do they love biryani. They were given biryani by these two young men who sort of got the program organized. And we gave them biryani and cake and played music and danced and thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. So they want a biryani party. So we are trying to organize a biryani party every few months for them.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah. So I told Nalini after that, okay, now whenever any friend's birthday or, you know, kuch na kuch, we say, kya le jaye, cake le jaye, mithai le jaye. I said, our friends' fridges are full. We don't need to take an extra bottle, I mean, of, you know, anything. So we will save that money from all our presents also, apart from other things.
And from that group, buy them biryani every few months. There are about 50 women there.
So, two little things like that, you know.
So we're leading interesting lives, in short.
Little bit, you know, giving back to the society, whatever, you know. God has been kind. In the village.
And in India, this is something that, again, we have to emphasize, that being women in India, where women need help of every sort to carry on with their life. And, you know, Ritoo, I remember Mohammed Yunus. I don't know how I'd written a letter to him. I'll send you that letter. And Mohammed Yunus from Bangladesh, who started the Grameen Bank, he saw one day, maybe 80 years ago or whenever, that a woman, when she starts earning, her children get educated, the family lives a better life, they have more food to eat, and it made so much sense to me. That's how I think I got so involved in, you know, empowering women.
Yeah. We tell our drivers, we tell people, you know, from the north or from here, educate your children, educate your girls. Don't say, usko shaadi karke bhej dete.
Tiwari, my driver, he told me, ma'am, हम लोग ने आपकी बात सुनी है गाड़ी में और मैंने देखा है कि मेरी दोनों बेटियां पढ़े. वेल डन तिवारी, बहुत अच्छी बात है। गांव में जब जाते हो ये सबको बात करो ना, तुम्हारी बात करते हैं कोई ना कोई सुन लेगा आपकी बात. So these are the things I think that have given us a fulfilling life.
Do you guys read a lot?
I used to, not anymore, not much now. I used to. Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand. Okay.
Want to get into reading
What
now?
beautiful books.
I used to. I remember.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I think life has changed with the information technology and and this YouTube.
Really, YouTube is driving us mad.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's lovely talking to you both today, and I can just go on and on. But maybe one of my visits I'll keep in Mumbai to just meet you guys.
I have to turban your hair, remember?
Yeah, I will be there.
Coming, we'll meet up.
Yes, we'll meet up.
Yes,
which is close by. It's very nice there. You'll enjoy yourself, and we'll turban your hair and do a foot massage at the same time or something. And the foot massage will be done by one of these girls who are from that background, who is doing such a great job today. Even Akanksha, the NGO, had sent us a deaf and dumb, a hearing impaired girl, speech and hearing impaired girl. She does such a great job today. It's a delight to see how well she's done in life.
Yes, that's a great incentive. Definitely, we'll meet again. Thank you, Nalini. Thank you, Yasmin, for joining Beauty Espace TV today, and we are extremely honored to have you with us today.
It was lovely talking. Really, it was lovely.
Whole day I was feeling unwell, but after this meeting, I'm absolutely okay. I was telling Nalini,
I'm so happy to hear that.
The whole day I was just.
Thank you, and bye-bye. Have a great evening.
Bye, Ritoo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.